The most fundamental task in building digitally is to find parts and add them to your model. Let me show you how to do just that in BrickLink Studio. I'll also share a few tricks to make sure this process is smooth and efficient. In BrickLink Studio, you find all the parts you need in the building palette, which is typically on the left-hand side of the screen. This palette is split into a few different sections. You've got your palette options at the very top. You have the part groups in the upper middle. You have the palette tools right between that and the pieces. And then finally, all of the different parts that are available in the palette. Now that we know where things are, how do we add them to the model? The simplest way to find the part you're looking for is just to scroll up and down through the palette until you find the piece you'd like. In this case, I want a brick 1x4. You'll notice that I've got a couple different choices here, and if I let my mouse hover, I get more text. This is a standard brick 1x4. This next one is a 1x4 brick without bottom tubes. That's not the one I want. I want the first one. That's often going to be the case. To add it to my model, I just click and drag it out until it's where I want it to go. Right there. When I like where it is, I let go of the mouse, and the part has been added. It's that easy. Find the part, click and drag it over. There are a lot of other ways to find parts as you're looking for them, and perhaps the most useful is to use the category list above the parts. These serve as a quick jump in the list to certain parts of pieces. So for example, if I know that I want something Technic, I can scroll and click on that. It'll jump me to the Technic pieces. Or maybe if I want a tile, I can jump to the tiles. And getting familiar with the different types of pieces that they have, bricks, round, slopes, curved slopes, plates, round plates, modified plates, cylinders, Technic parts, bars, dishes, doors, etc., is one of the fastest ways to become a better, quicker digital builder. Is to just get familiar with those categories because that'll help make finding the pieces a lot easier. In this case, I know I want a tile, so I'm going to jump back to the tiles, and I want a 2x2 tile. We're just going to drop it in right there. We can also use the search bar to find a specific piece. I want a tile. I do want it to be round, and I know I want it to be a 2x2 piece. And you can see that I've got a lot of printed tiles with some rounded things on them. I've got this little Mickey Mouse tile. And I'm just going to use the categories here that have now shrunk to only show me the matches and find my round tile. Okay, this one looks promising. Tile round 2x2. Excellent. I'm going to grab that one and put it on. But what happens when the piece you want doesn't magically come out of the palette in the right orientation? Well, let's look at an example with a tile. I want this 2x2 corner tile to go over here around this 1x1 instead. And when I click and drag it out, it does not meet that right orientation. I need to rotate the piece, not my model, to get it to fit. And while I'm adding the part, as I use the left and right arrows, I spin it around. If I use the up and down arrows, I flip it around. And in this case, I just want it to be rotated 90 degrees, and then it goes right in. And then I'm just going to quickly grab a couple more to finish out this model. So I want that round plate again, and I want that round 2x2 tile again. And now I have all the pieces I've wanted in my model. If you click on a piece to select it, and you have a current internet connection, you should see information about that piece at the bottom of the screen. So here I can see the model number, or the mold number. That's 4150 in this case. I have the BrickLink name of that piece. It's a tile round 2x2. I'm also seeing the estimated price of that piece in that color. And of course, last but not least, if you put a piece on your model that you don't want, all you have to do to get rid of it is click on the piece and hit the backspace or delete key on your keyboard, and the piece is gone from the model. And that's how you can quickly find the parts you want in the palette and add them to your model. I can hear you already. But Mike, those parts are all the same color. Don't worry. Click here for the next video in the Studio Basics series, which is all about changing part colors. If this was helpful, say thanks with a like, comment, or a follow. Be sure to check out more Studio tutorials, including the rest of the Studio Basics playlist here on my channel.